Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Quest Company. Tonight, Episode 2.
Tabitha was abandoned by both her parents when she was just a baby. She grew up alone, but was somehow always taken care of. She learned how to make weapons for herself and trained herself for protection. When she was 16, she killed the leader of the town, Crestport, and most of his forces. And no one knows why she killed him. But for that, she spent 8 years isolated in prison.
I am Frank. Bony, lacking flesh, a harbor for foreign moss, a simple skeleton. My death should come as no surprise, seeing as that I am no longer alive, but it happened and it was wet. My father, Ralph, he let me call him Ralph, taught me the secrets of the seas. Well, not all of the seas, mostly the 100-mile radius around our hometown of Bankland. When I was a teenager, this is back when I had skin and whatnot, my father, Ralph, he was a bounty hunter or something. I could never find out for sure. He just disappeared from the ship that I was on, and that turned into a whole ordeal. Some people in Bankland, more specifically a bastard by the name of Salty Jim, wondered out loudly how the hell such a seasoned sailor can end up just up and vanish. And so he was paying my father or something for deeds, and he wasn't happy at the loss, so he blamed Ralph's death on me. And if you must really know, I was put in prison and with this wizard dude guy named Mike. But he preferred to be called Old Mike. Mike saw something in me, or what the what, and gave me his wizard book, which I used to kill Salty Jim's entire crew. As you can imagine, Salty Jim was not a big fan of this turn of events, and he tried to kill me. Well, kill is such a big word. Let's say he tried to dispose of me with a certain length of chain. So while my body drowned out in the sea, me was still alive for some reason. And I just followed the dark sea for a while, walking along the bedrock until time no longer existed, and fish had just ripped and torn at my body until I was nothing more than a few clumps of meat stuck on some stubborn bones. I came across an island at one point, free of any trees or life, and I sat there, waiting for my bones to dry and my soul to leave this corporeal plane, but my bones simply never ceased dripping, and moss began to grow in places. So I took this as a challenge, a second chance for vengeance, a return, an opportunity rare and incredible. I knew at that precise moment, that I would destroy the Salty Jim, that mongoloid fuck, that literal bastard, even if it cost me my soul.
Hello, my name is Roarke Blackwater. I was born on my mother's ship, the Devil's Maiden, 7 years after she became Pirate Queen. I only ever heard rumors and whispers of how my mother gained her title. I grew up on the ship, learning from an early age the ways of the sea and of piracy. Never knew my father and was never told much about him. As I grew up, I trained extensively in fighting with 2 blades and became quite the expert swordsman. I was always well liked by the crew, even more so than my mother, who they thought at times could be cruel and unfair to them. When I was close to coming of age, there was secret talk amongst the crew of me perhaps taking over for her. I'd begun to be a part of our planning and war council and shown myself to be a fearless fighter and a natural leader. The last few raids we went on in which my ideas were ignored hadn't gone well, and the crew wasn't happy. Once she caught wind of this potential mutiny, she was enraged and decided to squash it by marooning me on a remote island, bound, gagged, and blindfolded. By the time I was able to free myself, the Devil's Maiden was long gone. I was on the island for weeks, living off what edible vegetation I could find and spearfishing in a nearby reef. One day, a small fishing boat happened to pass by and saw my smoke signals calling for help. Despite them being terrified by my appearance once they were close enough to get a good look at me, I convinced them to give me safe passage back to the mainland. That was 5 years ago. Since then, I've found work as a bounty hunter and mercenary, mostly for coastal law enforcement. I hunt pirates. Not because I have a strong desire to bring them to justice, but because I'm looking for a way to find my mother. With every pirate I capture, it's one more clue, one step closer to catching up with her. When I track her down, I will kill her, and I will claim the Devil's Maiden as my own.
Previously on the Quest Company.
Tabitha, earlier in the day, you are released from prison. As you are walking, everything kind of just goes black. Across the entire town, you just see bodies laying everywhere. You are very aware that the magic that is coming from these people is a very heavy-duty sleep spell.
But we don't know where it came from.
Who are you?
I'm Roarke.
I'm Frank.
Okay.
What is your name, lady?
Yeah, who are you?
Tabitha.
Help! Help!
Who are you?
My name's Thomas. I'm from a ways down the town. My daughter was taken into the woods. Begin making your way deeper and deeper into this forest. You all three notice up ahead on the trail, there seems to be a body hanging from one of the trees. Upon approaching the body, notice that it is Thomas.
The person that had us come out into the woods was not Thomas.
Very strong, aren't you, adventurers? Too bad you'll die in these woods. All three of you now see, kind of from behind one of the trees off in the distance, lumbers out this deer. It seems to be very, very sick. It cuts right through like the center body of one of the deers and out the back, and it detonates. And Roarke kind of hits the ground unconscious, and you see sitting on the stones a small satyr. My name, dear girl, is Ceidron. So yeah, I'm taking my vengeance out on Crestport.
If we take out whoever did do this, you take us back to the town and take the curse off.
Perhaps I have acted rashly. The deer that wander into these woods come from the town of Dagger Point. You've heard of Dagger Point in the prisons? It is kind of the rough and tumble city of this part of Freeheart.
I say...
If you stop the corruption coming from Dagger Point, I will lift the curse. I promise.
Pinky promise?
Episode 2.
Episode 2. All right.
Of the Quest Company.
Episode 2. You didn't say boo. I'm not poo. You and
Brooke
you.
was trying a little bit of rapping
you were,
between sessions, and
You're gonna poo your pants if you keep the farts up as you did the last
Taco
episode.
Bell is starting to smell. Running through my pants, and it's my last chance to
Cause
go to the bathroom, make some room.
do we
You
start
went to
now?
the bathroom during the break, right?
I actually did it.
Oh god.
Oh God, Brooke.
Oh boy.
Pop the corn with my horn.
What? That one was a reach, I think.
Anyway,
All right.
My coconut's dangling in the water. That's when it's 3 years before.
Oh gosh.
That's when you know you've made it. When you can look at each other and go, my gonads are dangling in the water.
You know, if there's a phrase that makes me think of true love
My
over the course
gonads.
of a long period of time, it's definitely...
dangling.
My gonads dangling in the water.
Yep, that's the one.
Anywho,
That's the one.
So, you guys have made your way through most of the woods. I'm gonna say you took a break
The hollow
in
Crown.
forest. Hollow
Hollow
woods.
woods.
Hollow woods.
I'm gonna say you
Like
guys
Halloween.
camped a little bit on the path,
I like it.
safely, and made your way fully healed back up to where
Good.
you are.
Good.
That's really gross.
But are still kind of making your way through the woods.
Making
Great.
my way downtown.
Tabitha, are you sneaking?
Wait, is it light now?
Um,
Or is it like...
here's what I'll say.
Okay.
You guys napped pretty early on, so it is now day, and you guys are making your way through the last part of the trek. It begins to rain as you guys kind of make your way through the woods. A lot of the rain kind of stays off you guys because of the thick canopy of this kind of woods. But it's wet out, and the occasional
me.
Like
yes,
Frank.
you feel at home.
Yes.
Perpetually moist. Oh, which reminds me, how was his moss? Because I got very
yeah,
concerned about
after
it because you
the-
said plants died.
Still there.
Okay.
Yes.
Solid.
Thank
Something
goodness.
still compelling it to life. The rain slows you down a bit, just because it makes certain areas more difficult to travel. Tabitha, are you sneaking? Okay, go ahead and roll your sneak.
Not the
16?
highest.
16.
But dear God, expertise.
You're sneaking not in the woods this time, but kind of just back from them a little bit. You guys doing any sneaking? Just walking?
We're just taking a stroll through the
strolling.
woods.
Okay.
Making our way downtown.
You've made some good distance through this area. Several hours kind of passed, and you start to hear some strange noises off the path.
Ooh.
Can I perceive?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Yeah, I wanna roll a perception.
Yeah,
on
everybody,
that.
definitely roll perception.
And I don't
gracious.
notice. Not a thing.
Same.
At 9.
13.
Okay.
Maybe.
You hear what sounds like an animal in trouble.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like something being like.
Oh.
Did I peek?
We did not peek.
I did my best.
He didn't peek, everybody.
Uh,
He didn't peek. Not yet. It's coming.
oh.
For you listeners out there, the face that Andrew makes as he makes that sound makes it all the more
Amazing.
alluring,
What do we hear one more time?
seductive, arousing even. Oh yeah, he's doing like
No, the first
now the
time
chin
you-
kind of
like,
comes
you're
back.
like-
You can tell he's like, like if you can just imagine
Sensual.
the no,
word
absolutely
sensual.
sensual. But if you just imagine like the face associated with that sound, because I feel it's like that guttural.
Like an earthworm orgasming is how I would imagine it.
Y'all hear this?
Oh, that's funny.
Almost bleeding coming off of the coming out from the woods.
Does it seem like super far off? Or is it like
You
I rolled poorly.
You
sorry.
cannot tell.
What about me? I rolled 13.
You cannot tell.
I say we should probably go find it.
Right. I don't want to go super far from this path, though, so we should be careful about that.
Not a big fan of animals, especially after they tried to, poison us to death. So I'm just gonna.
I mean, I could go.
If you want to like scout ahead a little bit, and also we can kind of follow behind, just as long as we leave a way to make sure that we can get back to this path here.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
You make your way kind of through the woods towards the sound. It's off the left of the path.
Mm-hmm.
You travel kind of through the woods and the trees a little bit. Just kind of the rain falling.
Mm.
You begin to see some figures.
Mm-hmm.
You see 3 kind of humanoid figures, and they have this is far off, mind you, and they have a deer that they're kind of trying to like pull along.
Oh, baby.
Linda Belcher's here, everyone.
Can I sneak up on them?
You can certainly try.
Oh gosh.
Can I sneak? Okay.
How sneaky are ya?
19.
Okay. They're very focused on this deer, which is fighting against them, and the mud is making it hard for them to pull it, and it's hard for the deer to get away, so it's like this weird tug of war.
How far away are you from us?
If you were going to go try and attack one of them or sneak up on them, you're gonna get a good clip away from you guys. You guys, how close are you following her?
Not like super close. Like definitely trying to keep the path in sight.
Can I look?
Unless because I'm assuming Frank and I don't see that if we're further back.
You don't currently.
Yeah.
Nah.
Before I make up my mind, can I see if there's any thieves' camps anywhere in like the trees or the ground?
There's not.
Damn. Okay. Who's closer to me, Roarke or Frank?
Probably Roarke. Frank seems a little bit begrudging about
I'm gonna
going
like
to the woods
keep
for
my
now.
distance, but where he could hear me without alerting them.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, okay, so there's some robbers with the deer. I can sneak and probably kill them, and we can be on our way. Or I can kill 2 of them and leave 1, and we can get more answers.
Right. I'm gonna suggest we kill most of them except for one and get whatever information we can from the other one, because this seems like what Ceidron was talking about.
Yes.
You hear another.
I go, okay, give me 1 second. And I'm going to sneak back into the peeps.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak forward as well. Then
Go ahead and roll
behind
sneak.
her.
Am I keeping my old sneak?
Yes, the one that the last one, the 19.
That's an 8.
You begin making your way out to like the right of this group. Revian, as you moved a step
That's
forward.
not Rivian.
Dadgummit.
Again, for you listeners out there, Revian was from a different campaign.
Oh.
I like my R names.
He does like his R names. It's really throwing me right now. I'm doing my best.
Why did you look at the mic like it's a person?
Because
it's the listeners, Brooke.
Hello,
It's
listeners.
the embodiment of the
I
listeners.
was
We should put a little face on
Their
it.
spirit is
agree.
here
like
with
little
us.
googly eyes.
Roarke,
phone
as
has
you
it.
move up, you move pretty stealthily, and then suddenly you just hear like as you step on a large stick that just snaps right in half, and you see two of the men with the deer.
Wait, the minute I hear it, can I out of the way so they don't see me?
They're not going to be looking in the direction that you are.
Oh.
Because you have started
I'm to the right.
circumventing
You're
them.
right. You're right.
When they turn and look, roll perception. They're still a little bit of ways away, but it's a pretty okay one.
That's a 12 perception.
Yeah. You see big beak-like masks on them, and they're in these like black hoods.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little scary.
All right.
Everyone roll initiative.
Hey-o.
They don't know you're there. Will
I
yourselves roll
just
initiative.
let me kill
That's
them.
a 5 for initiative. It's a good old 5.
It hit my foot. If you would have just
What,
let
did
me
you-
sneak,
did you
I
drop
could
your
have
dice?
snuck up
It's
on them
11.
and killed them. But you had to sneak behind me.
They still don't know that you're there.
I know, but then we wouldn't have had to have initiative.
And now you're welcome. They're distracted by
22.
me.
You and your 4 health.
Yeah.
We took a long rest
Oh,
and
that's
we're
right.
full health.
Did we?
Well, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, Andrew said we
Are you
did.
positive?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, we're good then.
Okay. So what?
I would not
what
be
are-
instigating if I was at
20.
3 health.
A 20.
Yeah.
No, wait. 23.
Next is
Not me, because I rolled a 5.
okay.
11.
11. Okay. Tabitha, you are up first.
I'm gonna sneak up on one of them and take my dagger and put him in his back.
Okay. So they're kind of all clumped together around this deer.
Are they in like a clearing at all, or is it just like in the midst of all these trees?
They're in the midst of all the trees.
Okay, can I get like in between two of them and like ching in their heads?
You can attempt to. You'll
I'm
only
gonna-
get your sneak damage on one of them.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, do you only get
Both.
sneak damage once per turn?
What do I add to my stuff?
You will add your dex and your proficiency.
22.
You hit with one of them. Go ahead and roll again to see if you hit with the second.
12.
Well, the first one was right.
Yeah.
That one's just...
Just 12.
No, you add your proficiency to hit. You
Oh,
don't
you just
add
add to
your
the damage.
damage.
That's right.
14.
So 14 to hit. You will hit with
Yes!
both of those. So go ahead and
Nice.
roll damage on the first one with your sneak attack.
Okay, 3, 7 plus 11.
So 11 damage?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for the second one.
6,
You don't add dex to it
2, 4,
because you're
2,
not dual wielding.
2.
Okay, 2 damage.
Two.
You out of the shadows and just temple one of the guys.
Nice.
As like you just go through his like cloak and into this like mask, and his body just goes like completely limp on the end of your dagger. Your second dagger you throw up into the hood of the guy next to him, but it just kind of passes into the hood and gets caught up into it, and you assume probably like head area,
Okay.
which probably didn't get a lot of him. As he instantly is alerted to your presence now.
Ah.
Can I, like, take my dagger out of the one guy's skull?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank, it is now your turn.
Well, I am just not feeling this, this whole distraction, whatnot, I'm going to use my magic missile to hit the deer.
Wait!
Oh no!
Go ahead and roll a hit.
He doesn't have to roll a hit. It's just
Go ahead and roll all your
It's
damage.
just a magic missile. Wait, so it's just a regular deer,
It's
right?
a normal deer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
It's taking up my time. I don't got time for this. Kidding me?
Baby. Oh, baby.
You roll that 3 times.
3 times plus 1 each.
Oh no, Ceidron's not
So
gonna
5,
5.
7, 11.
11.
Oh god.
These...
Oh no.
Frank steps forward,
Oh, baby.
just over it, and you see these 3 little white lights just through the air,
Oh,
and
God.
the deer just gets Swiss cheesed as it falls completely limp on the ground with 3 apple-sized holes cut through its body, one directly through its head. The deer is dead.
Frank, Ceidron is not gonna be happy about that.
I don't care.
Oh god.
You're just blaming it on these suckers. Let's go.
We'll take care of the other 2.
Are you saying this in character?
The 2 dudes that are there just kind of like look at the deer and like look up at you, and they're like, "We should get that guy." And they seem very, very intent on capturing the skeleton now. Cool. It's now the dude that you kind of cut up into his head's turn. He's actually going to attack you because you attacked him.
That's fair.
That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Dang
Will hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just barely.
He does 2 damage.
Okay.
As he pulls out this curved, like, long dagger and just kind of like swipes at you, and you get a piece of your arm. That is the next dude who is going to take off sprinting towards Frank.
Mm-hmm.
At disadvantage because he's in a gross cloak and there's mud everywhere.
Yeah, gross cloak.
Cool. He is like stumbling up like between trees to like get to you, but he uses his full turn to get right up in your
Wait,
face.
does he pass me?
Are you next to?
I was like in
is he
front of
behind-
He's in
Frank.
front of me.
Oh, I assumed that he was like over a ways some.
I thought I was
Sure.
just in front of him. I don't know. I thought that I was just in front
I'm
of
gonna
him.
say no for right now because I wouldn't have him just intentionally run that way. Once we start doing some maps later, we'll be fine.
That's fair.
He just runs up and gets in your face.
All right. I call him a bitch.
You do. He looks fascinated by you. Little bit you can see from him, just like the 2 eyes inside the goggles. He's like wide-eyed about you.
Cool.
The rest of it is this huge, like beak-like, leathery mask. Roarke, it is your turn.
Great. I just want to go and put 2 scimitars in his back.
Okay.
That is an 11.
We'll miss.
Does he know that I'm like coming at him, or is he too fascinated with Frank?
I assume he must have seen you.
Fair enough. And the second one's a 12.
The 12 will hit.
Great. That's gonna be 5 damage as I stick him.
Okay. You stick him a bit. You get like part of his like leg.
Mm-hmm.
As your blade kind of cuts through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, but he's really concerned about Frank.
That's fair.
Who is it?
Tabitha, it's your turn.
I would like to take one of the poison arrows and shoot it
At the dude that's attacking you?
at the guy that's going for Frank.
Okay. Roll hit.
Eight.
An 8 to hit. Will not, as you just miss off to the right of him.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak back into the tree line out of that guy's sight.
There's a dude on top of you, like trying to attack you actively. You can't really sneak from him.
I'll just stay there.
Okay. Frank, it's your turn.
Let's see. Well, this guy's not doing me any good. So I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use. Let's do witch ball.
Okay.
Let's do witch ball.
Do it to it.
19.
It hits. Go ahead and roll your d12 of damage.
Roll that sweet D12.
3.
Okay.
But it stays on him.
You create this electrical link between you and this other guy.
Put like right in his face.
Who takes like 3 damage? Is like. Dude's gonna attack you, Tabitha. That is right next to you. That's a 10 to hit. As you deftly just like out of the way. The dude on you, Frank, is going to attempt to grapple you. So he's going to make a strength check against you making a strength check.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
What did you roll, Frank?
16.
A 16? He is not stronger than you. As he attempts to grapple you, he slides around on your moist bones.
That's a moist boy.
And that is his turn. Roarke, it is your turn.
Great. How far am I from Tabitha and the other one?
Probably like 30 feet.
30 feet? Great. I just say, Frank, don't kill him. Just knock him out. And I run over to the other one, and I want to stab him.
Okay.
And slice him and dice him. And that probably won't stab or slice or dice him, because that first one's a 5.
Okay, that definitely won't.
And the second one is a 23.
That will hit.
Great.
And roll your damage for the second one.
It's 5. 5 damage.
Okay.
What do you add to that?
My dex.
You miss with the first one, and he kind of like gets out of the way, but you come across his chest with the second one, and just you can tell you got into his robes as you felt some resistance in there.
Nice.
Do I not add my dex to my damage?
You have been.
You do, you just don't on the second one.
Oh, my last one I did.
Because you didn't hit.
Yeah.
Oh.
You missed with the arrow.
Good point.
Yeah.
Tabitha, it's your turn.
Oh.
I am going to go with my daggers and take out my short sword.
Gonna go.
Stab it in the wood.
Attack this dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll hit. Also, your bow is out, so you put that up.
Yeah. 17.
That's gonna hit. You add your dex to that, by the way,
Okay, well, yep.
so you know. And then that's a d6 plus your dex.
your dex.
8.
8. You kill the shit out of this guy. As Roarke cuts him across the body, and he's like, "Ugh!" And as he's like looking up at this like demon, you plunge your short sword through his throat, just like out the back. And he's like, I'm just kind of
Yes.
As the sword goes through the throat, Roarke yells, "Okay, Frank, really make sure you don't kill him. We need answers."
I say, okay, sure. And I stab him with my dagger.
like, okay,
In the side.
okay.
Try to not, completely kill him. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. So I roll a d20 to hit? Or
Yeah, you gotta roll it in.
It's 11 plus, what is that?
Your
Dex?
Dex or your strength, whichever one.
Let's do that strength. Let's do that dex. That's a 14.
A 14 to hit?
Plus
That's
your
gonna hit.
proficiency.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
6 damage?
Yeah.
You stick him in the side,
Oh, no, Frank.
Shit.
like just like yeah, right up under his ribs. And he's like, oh, It's his turn.
Yes, he's not dead yet.
He's going to.
He is not dead yet. Not dead yet.
He's gonna attempt to take your skull.
What?
Alright,
Like remove it?
Yeah.
I like this. I like this guy. He puts up a
He
fight.
he rolled a natural 1. So
He grabs the penis bone.
he sticks his hand in your eye sockets and stuff, and it's just moist, and he's like, Roarke, it's your turn.
Great. I would like to
Shoot him in the back with a pistol. Got it.
no.
And echo the woods.
No. That's not what I want to do. I want to go up and try to bonk him on the head to just knock him out. So, like, with the pommel of my,
I think he's already PTFO, mostly. Isn't
like,
he?
I mean,
Go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, no.
That's a bad idea.
that's a natural 1 to
Okay,
hit,
good.
so,
You go ahead and roll damage.
Oh.
That's gonna be 7.
Okay. You split his head open with the pommel.
Yep.
Not one.
Oh.
As you just like, you're like, I'm gonna check this. He's like slipping on the head, and he like goes to stick himself back up, and just comes up into it, and just.
Oh. Guys,
you want to kill him, huh? Oh.
gu-
Look at you now.
pretty sure that's not how swords are supposed to work, guys. I apologize.
Yeah.
That is not how I anticipated that going.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna wipe the brain matter off of my pommel.
You do.
I would like to inspect the bodies around me for any kind of.
Yeah. Let's
Any-
loot.
I would like to inspect the bodies for money.
Let's loot.
Okay. Everyone roll investigation.
Oh, shit.
14.
18, 19.
16.
Okay.
I'm getting the most money.
Together, you guys find about 20 gold on these dudes.
Nice.
It's just like a joke.
How are
As
we
a
going to
collective.
split this up?
Figure it out. And you also find, whoever wants to hold them, or if everyone wants to have one, you obtain black robes and leather beak masks. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the
Yeah,
like
Renaissance
the old school plague
medicine.
masks.
Scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. Upon pulling the masks off, these are humans.
Mm-hmm.
An occasional one of like some of them have like weird kind of like boils on their
Ooh.
skin occasionally.
Gross.
Some of them just look normal.
Can I cut one down the sternum?
Yeah.
As she
Just
does
take a
that, I'm
peek
divvying out the
inside.
I'm divvying out the gold. They can each have 9. Wait, no, not 9. It's 20. So what? How we split that through it? They each have 7, and I'll take 6.
That sounds about right.
I'll take 6. I don't really care about.
I'll
the
take
money.
7.
Fair enough.
I'll take 7.
Great. I'll take 7 then.
Cutting open the body, Tabitha, you find normal human entrails. Some of them look aged beyond what the person looks like they are.
Okay.
But other than that, not really anything special.
Okay.
Smells real bad.
All right.
I don't smell anything.
That yeah, that's not how gore usually smells.
All right.
I don't like that.
So I'm thinking maybe these were undead or brought back to life
I think they might have just been ill.
or ill. Yeah, sure.
Well, I guess they're
Shit,
dead
I wish
now.
I really hadn't killed that guy. That was
Roarke.
very
Yeah.
So sad.
Wish you didn't.
well. I guess we'll. I mean, what we do now? Just go to Dagger Point and
I'm up for that.
perhaps try to infiltrate whatever this is. If there's more of these people, we got these masks
I-
and robes now.
I propose we hide the bodies in case more of this assuming cult finds them dead in the woods. They won't come asking questions. This will be strangers.
That's fair.
Easy target.
Let's hide some bodies. That works for me.
Does
Okay.
anyone have matches?
Hmm?
We could just set them on fire really quick.
Is it raining hard where we are?
Yeah, it's still raining.
Oh, like if we set them on fire, would it like go out?
There's potential that you wouldn't be able to light the fire. You could do it with a survival check. But more than that, fire might have smoke.
Good point.
Yeah, no, I don't want to risk burning this forest down either because
Well, we could string
very-
them up in the tree.
Oh, that'd be like even more of a thing, because then they'd be like, oh,
I'm thinking
bodies in here.
minimum desecration here might be the way to go. So maybe we just hide them.
we could just chop them up in little bits.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, just scatter them around.
Yeah.
I'll bury a really quick hole.
We can find some acid and put them in a bathtub maybe, on the second story of a building. I like that.
I don't know if I have
Breaking
any,
Bad.
I don't know if I have any acid.
You don't.
I don't have any ass.
Frank, why don't, since you want to, do you want to chop them up?
Can I grab one of the, like, dagger sword things that those guys had?
Yeah.
Great. I'm like, how about you use that, Frank?
Roll perception.
18.
You notice that the first guy that got
24.
nixed has a butcher knife,
Oh.
like a meat cleaver.
Ooh.
Well, I'll use that for starting it out, and then I'll just keep chopping, you know?
You chop.
That'll work, I think, Frank.
You chop, and we'll bury
Frank,
a
make a
hole.
strength check.
While he's doing that, we're gonna dig a hole.
14.
It takes you some time. It takes you some
You
time.
really gotta hack away at that, don't you?
To anyone, actually, both of you guys make Constitution saving throws.
Oh, 4.
10.
You both get real close to losing your lunch watching this. There's some things that are inbred.
Yeah.
This skeletal creature just hack away at human bodies.
Oh, God.
In the rain, in the forest.
Come on!
Roarke just says to himself, oh, Frank's fine. Frank's fine. Oh, God.
It's an image.
I'm like, no.
You guys dig the bodies. Frank eventually finishes cutting them up.
Yeah. Just kind of
Damn.
put them in
Like,
dispersed,
I
shallow
throw a
graves.
piece at
Wait,
in
you
their
threw
general
a
direction.
piece?
You.
Go ahead and
No.
roll a hit.
It's a 10.
Okay.
Plus anything. You wouldn't be proficient, but I guess it would be strength.
14.
It's 11.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
You missed.
Woo!
Like, Frank, you put him in the ground.
All right.
You
In
do.
the-
Yeah, well,
Put them in the ground.
Great.
No.
I'll fill the hole so we can get on our way.
Okay, you do.
Great.
I'm gonna check
Great.
myself for blood stains before we go into this village.
You're not there yet.
Before we get there, I'm just gonna go
You're good.
ahead
The
and
only
do...
the biggest thing that got on you was the cut on your own arm.
Okay.
You get a feeling that Dagger Point is not the kind of city that's going to ask questions about blood being places.
That's
Good
fair.
Point. Good point. I forgot about that.
Well, cool. So, here's a question. Do we want to
Yes.
roll up into Dagger Point in robes and masks, or kind of get in there and then maybe get in disguise from there?
I think we need to not.
To not show
And
up
then
in those?
If they're
Especially me skeletal thing,
yeah.
because I don't know if they'll appreciate that much.
Appreciate you just
Being
as a skeleton?
Yeah.
Or
I don't
they're
know.
gonna worship you because they do undead things.
Right. Maybe for now, we just kind of keep Frank low-key.
Could we, if we take Frank apart, will he still be okay?
Like,
Yeah.
we just have a bag of bones?
Yeah, can we like take him apart and put him like in our satchel?
Oh, like the guy that just, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
that guy,
Like, kind of like
okay.
how you just dismember those guys? We could,
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah, I mean, we got a bag.
Frank, it's not that. I mean, I don't know you very well, but I appreciate you. It's just
Thank
a
you.
safety measure.
Yeah, no, I understand.
All right, I'll take Frank's like
I pop
top
off my head.
half.
Here. Hold it.
Thank
Wait,
you, Frank.
before we do this, Frank, do you know how to, like, put yourself together fully, or are we just gonna have to do our best once we,
Remember when I talked about the penis bone earlier?
right.
The penis isn't actually a bone. It was just an extra one. Not sure if it was mine, but I kind of get lost sometimes in preparing myself.
I'm imagining him holding his like your jaw.
Sorry, is it like a femur?
Oh no, Tabitha, you're holding his skull while he's talking, like, and he's like penis bone, and you're just like, there it is.
Alright, well,
Okay, we'll dismantle Frank.
Roarke,
Okay.
open your bag.
Great.
I'm
yeah.
gonna hold Frank's
Here I go.
Frank in my
Wait,
satchel.
you're just holding his skull?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Okay, but like, is that all you're getting? And I'm getting everything else?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I
yeah.
don't want to like hurt
I
his
will.
face.
I will take all of the rest of Frank.
Okay,
In my bag.
You dismember Frank, and you pack him away. You pack him away in your bag.
As we're walking.
You feel the occasional twitch as you walk sometimes, as some of the bones are like playing around in the bag.
And that's why I didn't get any other part.
Where are you keeping his skull for
It's just
reference?
like in my set, like I have like.
But it's like open to where he's like, I'm here and can
Yeah.
talk.
This is a great trick.
Until I pull my cloak, and
Okay.
then like you wouldn't see him. But
Awesome.
when we're walking,
Good.
I'm like, you okay then?
I put all of his stuff in like a compartment that's separate from as many of my stuff, as many of my things as I can, because he's moist,
Cool.
and I'm trying to
No, it's
keep
okay.
keep some of
Oh,
my
it's
things
Matt.
dry.
Roll a d20.
Oh God.
You.
9.
Some of your shit gets a little moist.
It's a little moist,
But it's okay.
that's fair.
Your bag might smell mildewy for a little bit.
I'll air it out later.
Go
Oh my
ahead
God.
and roll a d20. There's less of Frank, so yours isn't as high.
4.
Some of your stuff gets moist.
Moist boy.
Your
Moist
your
boy's
bag
Morty.
might smell a little
Like
mildewy.
my underboob, because he's like right there.
Yeah.
Moist under boob.
Yummy.
Frank enjoys that position.
Okay.
I put my satchel down just a little bit.
Penis bone.
You feel something move
No.
in your bag, Roar. You're not sure what.
I'm gonna choose to believe it's a tibia.
Okay. You guys
We're gonna
Make
go
your
to
way-
Dagger Point.
Dagger Point. You guys make your way back to the path, and for kind of the rest of the way, make your way out of the forest.
Take a minute,
Pretty
take a
easy.
Great.
Frank, a bit of a bumpy ride as
Yeah.
your body is in multiple places.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a little upset about the bumpy ride.
I'm trying to
And
keep...
I let I let you know through the satchel.
You let me know?
Yeah.
So you're like yelling from her satchel at me?
Watch where you're walking.
I try to keep it as smooth as I can for my buddy Frank.
okay, roll an acrobatics check.
Well, that's an 8.
It's pretty damn bumpy.
That's okay.
I'm pretty uncomfortable.
Your head's doing great though.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about a 22?
Your head's doing great.
As I
though.
said, yeah, my hair
Um,
enjoys the position.
Gosh.
you guys make your
No.
way out of the forest, and the initial site. There's a large kind of green plain that stretches out. You see the occasional kind of like tree. A lot of them look like they have kind of weeping willows. Like it's trees that have like very kind of like droopy in nature. Not necessarily weeping willows. There's not like rivers, but kind of droopy looking trees. It looks a lot like Scotland-y. It's got that
Okay.
feel. There's kind of a fog that kind of rolls across this main field.
Great.
Looking across it, you see these sharp mountains that kind of plague the horizon. And at the bottom of the main set of mountains, you see a small kind of town that looks like it's been built into the face of one of the smaller jagged mountains.
Is there a gate?
It's way off.
Great.
You're a couple football fields away.
Great. Well, I mean, look at me, look at you. I think we both look shady enough to just kind of walk into Dagger Point from the description that Ceidron gave us. I think we'll probably be fine.
Yeah, good look seedier.
Shady isn't the word I would use, but okay.
Was that Frank?
Now,
Nothing.
Frank,
Just gonna...
when we get there, I'm gonna have to put the cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
And then I give the skull loop.
You do.
Moist. Great. So yeah, we'll walk up to town.
It makes kind of a as you kind of said. Walk up to them. You guys make your way for probably another like 30 minutes.
Great.
Crossing over this field. Both of you guys make dexterity checks. Frank, because
Wait,
you're
is it a
being
saving
scared, you
throw?
don't. No, it's just a check.
And there it goes.
I accidentally went on the
Okay.
slope.
So that's 7.
Thank you, honey. 23.
Not the most dex.
Roarke, it's very difficult going as this land is very marshy. You find yourself feeling very exhausted by the time you've crossed over it.
Okay.
Tabitha, your kind of light nature and like ability to kind of like traverse kind of more just over like the more solid states of this bog, make it a little bit easier for you. You're not as tired by the time you get to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys arrive kind of at the gates?
I look at Roarke and I say,
Dagger
okay,
Point.
so I think maybe we need to have different names just in case.
Great. I'm Craig.
Mike.
Frank, shush.
Great.
I take the cloak and I just over Frank and I go, sorry.
I'm Craig Jurgensen. Remember that.
From the gate, it's kind of like wooden. You know, like the wooden palisades, like it's just like logs that have the points on the tips of them, and they've been banded together to create like a wall.
Like in Pocahontas.
Yes. The gate is also wooden, but you kind of hear a guard from a little watchtower that's up behind it be like, "Hey, you! What you want?"
We want to get in. We've had a long ass night and day.
Yeah.
Well, come on in. What you doing?
All right. Well, we're coming.
All right.
And we go in.
You do. You get to the gate and it
It's really
opens.
stressful.
And it opens. And roll perception. Everyone? Yeah, Frank, go ahead. You're there.
That's a nat 1.
Nat
You've
20.
got cloaks covered. Nat 20.
That's fair. 9.
Nat 20, you hear from the watchtower as you guys kind of enter. Fucking tourists, jeez. Just come in.
Oh.
This is very, very, like, why didn't you guys walk in? You are now inside Dagger Point. With an inn.
Should we find like a tavern or something?
What can we see when we look around?
You see kind of hustle and bustle. A lot of people, the majority of which don't look very like well put together. It looks like a lot of peasants. Some people, like the more well put together people, just look really shady. They're like, oh, look at my like swords on my hips and like big scar across my face. I'm profiling right now. Everyone in Dagger Point is scary because of their scars. Profiling. There's just kind of like common rabble.
Is it mostly humans or is there like an assortment?
Assortment.
Okay.
Everybody and anybody. This is the farthest point north in Freeheart. So this is the farthest to travel away from the war.
Gotcha.
So you see a lot of people that look like they probably served.
Okay.
And are no longer.
Are there other tieflings around at all?
I was just gonna ask that. Or are you gonna just throw us off?
No.
Great.
Not that you see.
Great.
I
would just like to keep my my background feature
around?
bad
Well,
reputation
I can't really
in
see.
mind.
I rolled a nat 1.
Exactly.
Can I? Hey, are there any undeads?
Not that we see. Not that we see.
There aren't any undeads.
Are there any like men close to us standing around?
Men? Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna like kind of like use my dagger and kind of like slit it a little bit.
Open up your cleavage, so?
Yeah. It's gonna work.
For the listeners out there, she mimed cutting open her robe to show her
And I'm
cleavage.
just gonna say, "Oh, where can we get some ale?"
Probably at the tavern. Probably at the tavern, Deborah.
Roll a persuasion check.
I don't know what
With advantage.
Andrew, I'd like to keep in mind my bad reputation feature, being the only tiefling here.
What would it be with advantage? I get to roll again.
You roll it
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
What does bad reputation do again, Jonah?
I will.
That's a nat 20.
Natural 20. Hold on, I'll
Plus 6, so I third T6.
no matter where I go, people are afraid of me due to my reputation. When I'm in a civilized settlement, I can get away with minor criminal offenses such as refusing to pay for food at a tavern or breaking down doors at a local shop, since most people will not report my activity to the authorities. I just want everybody to know that I look pretty scary, and just be aware of my scariness, being the only tiefling.
People are.
Okay,
Um,
that's 20 plus 6.
I just want to make sure everyone's aware that I look
they're
scary.
aware.
You shout out, "Oi, where can we get some ale?" so many dudes.
Well, let me tell you what. I'll tell you where to go. Right there, if you go down that way right there, shut up, Jeff. Well, you don't know where to go. You don't want to go. Yeah, hey, what you want to do is you want to go down that way. You want to go down that way right now. He's peeking. I'm peeking. You want to go that way. You want to go down that way. And they're like, shut up, Jeffrey. You don't know what you're talking about. Last, what you want to do is you want to go down the street. You want to go down the street. You want to go to the bar on the left. You want to go to.
They've collected themselves.
They've collected themselves because they were peeking. In more ways than one.
Oh, natural 20 on the cleavage.
It's not true.
Natural 20 on the boobies.
Eventually, through the stammering of this crowd, you gather that there is a.
I keep them at a distance. I'm like,
There's no body.
as they're like,
That makes sense. But hey, you see a bunch of dudes like, it's that way.
For the listeners out there,
they're flex pointing. I know.
Flointing.
They're
flointing.
Like, it's over there. One of them's a professional wrestler.
One of them's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to the bar.
Everyone's favorite NPC.
Amen. But they point you towards the local tavern, which you gather is a good little bit away, but it's down some seedy streets, and it is a bar known as the Cat's End Bar.
The Cat's End?
The Cat's End Bar.
There don't happen to be any fellas in creepy masks in here, do there?
Roll perception.
I will right after I finish writing tavern.
20? Unnatural?
11.
Were you looking for that?
Yeah, it could have been.
Regardless, neither of you see anything.
Alright, on the way to the tavern, I'm kind of like, my cleavage, I'm like, okay, so, how are we gonna, oh right, okay, so, how are we gonna ask about the mask?
Well, I think that we should just kind of stake it out and in the tavern for a little bit, just to see if we hear anybody talking about any weird stuff going on in the woods.
Okay.
But and then if we see anybody who might have any of those boils or anything like that were on some of those bodies, we should definitely keep an eye on them.
And then I'm like,
That sounds good.
I go, Frank, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm in a bag.
You're in 2 bags, Frank.
I'm in a couple bags.
Okay. You guys make your way to the tavern, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Make your way down the street. You see the occasional tough guy, most of which kind of cower once they see Roarke.
Yeah.
Most of which try and flirt with
I go
Tabitha as she walks by.
pop it back open.
Frank, you're in a bag.
I'm in a bag.
Which might be the best for us at this point.
But I'm not saying it's not. You guys eventually see this little sign that hangs out. It's kind of creaking in the wind and the rain. It's the ass of a cat.
Wait, is it like a cat anus like on Bob's Burgers?
Yep.
When she it's okay.
Straight up, yes.
I just needed to check.
It's exactly like that.
Okay, cool.
For the visual.
Underneath it just says the cat's end.
I like it already.
Very crass.
Tabitha just kind of shakes her head.
Okay.
Go in.
Okay.
And then I go, wait, Frank. And I move the cloak so he can see the thingy.
That's a cat ass.
And then I close it.
You go in.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Tabitha.
You guys open
really moisten my
the doors.
Really look it up.
A little bit it quiets as you all walk in, as everyone kind of some people are like, ooh, and some people are like, ooh.
That's right.
No one knows that there's a body.
what you suckers don't know.
There's a couple toughs in a corner doing the whole knife thing on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Trying not to hit their fingers. You see one bartender, a big dude. He's got red hair, and is rather portly. It's kind of really skinny arms, but just really, really kind of big belly.
Oh.
And there's
what's his red hair like? Because we got a lot of redheads running around here. We got Tabitha who's red hair. I have red hair.
Mine's really dark though.
He just has kind of shortcut.
Okay.
Going on.
Like my normal, I feel like.
And he's working with some meat on the table, and carving it up for serving it. And you see a couple kegs in the back. He's like, hey, welcome to Cat's Anus.
Cat's anus, eh?
Amen.
Alright.
Boy,
Keeps
where's
getting
the ale?
Did you pay me for some ale?
And then I just go,
The cup slides immediately to you. Not from him, from someone across the room. It's like, hey, here you go.
and I look at Roarke and I say, that's how you do it. And then I just kind of drink it.
I yell out to the bar, alright, who wants to buy me an ale? As I flash my scimitars.
You're good. The bartender's like, no need for that, and passes you one.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name is George.
George. George of the Cat's Anus.
It's the Cat's Inn.
You called
You
it the
called
Cat's
it
Anus.
That's because I own it.
Fair. George. I'm writing his name down. George, can I tell what kind of meat George is working on there?
No idea.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily look savory at this point.
Solid.
He's kind of just hacking away at it, trying to cleave off
Can
different
I
parts.
look around the room and look for any kind of, like, boils on people's arms
Yeah, go ahead and roll
while they're talking?
perception.
Yeah. So as she's looking, I
15?
Okay.
while she's looking around, I talk to George and I say, "So, George, we're not from around here, as you might have guessed.
You look like you fit right in, mate.
Got a question for you. We seen a couple people running around town with some weird boils and everything. There's not any kind of plague going on around here, is there?"
He just immediately stops when you say plague. I want you to get out right now. I want you to get out of my bar. Get out right now.
I'm sorry.
I slap Roarke across the face. And I go, you little dumbass, shut your damn mouth. And then I kind of like booby in front of him. And I'm just like, we don't know, we're strangers.
I can clearly tell. And he just kind of goes back to chopping.
I don't move, but I sip and I sit and I sip on my mead.
He's watching you like real sternly.
Where did I peek it?
Peaked. No, I'm just gonna sip on my drink and just listen in the bar.
Go ahead and make perception.
That's going to be 15 perception.
I will let you know what you hear.
Great.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna like sip my mead with my bubbies. And I'm like,
Our newest bumper sticker for the show.
Sipping my mead with my bubbies.
And I go,
With my bubbies.
I go,
That's a t-shirt, guys, right there.
I say, so George, I came in through the woods and I don't see no deer. Venison? For dinner? I'm trying so hard.
He looks at you and he just says, "You can have some of this. But that's about it.
What is it?
It's meat."
Tasty.
Is it because you don't have deer?
We've got plenty of deer. You see the woods out there.
But I don't see no deer.
Because they're in the woods.
Right. All right, George, here's the thing. We were in the woods. We saw some deer. There was something wrong with them, which takes me back to my first question. Dang it, your accent spread to me. My first question.
I have that power.
Dang it.
God. He's a wizard.
Oh,
you
no.
instantly die.
Which brings me back to my first question. We were in the woods. There's weird stuff going on around here. We were just curious is all.
Mate, I'm gonna pretend that you didn't ask me about no plague. And I'm gonna pretend that you didn't talk about no deer. 'Cause I like you folks. and I want you to be able to stay in my bar. Now, you want to talk about it at a different time, maybe? That's fine.
A different time?
But maybe right now, when there's a shitload of people right behind you, you keep your mouth shut.
What time do you close, George?
Wait, did I see any boils with my perceptions?
Get to you in a sec.
Okay.
Dang it. Looking around, Roarke, over the court. Well, we're not there yet. Looking around for boils, since that was a little bit earlier. No, not really.
Okay.
The occasional, like, some people do have boils, like, you don't know. Several people, but some people don't.
Okay.
He begins kind of like carving into the table that he's working on, and then kind of goes back to chopping meat.
I look
What
at
does he
that.
say? Yeah.
You have no idea. You can read it because it's thieves' cant.
Oh.
Did she say that? No, she's saying that.
He looks at you very quizzically. No, as the meat passes over the carving, the blood kind of fills it in, and you can see the writing. As he has written, basically in thieves' cant, to meet him after he shuts the bar in the upstairs rooms.
Okay. I just kind of look at him and I'm like, I'm gonna drink my ale now, and I grab Roarke and we're just gonna go sit somewhere. But before we go, I'm just gonna like move my cloak to show him Frank's skull. I'm just gonna go, do not try to trick me. And then I'm gonna close it.
You just got a skull. You know how many skulls I've seen
and
in my
I
life?
flick it. I flick it. I'm like, Frank.
Just Frank, not do anything.
Good. You named your skull Frank. Fantastic. And he goes back to just chopping.
Deborah, let's go.
Drink my ale.
Well, I'm dealing with you crazy.
And when we go sit, and I'm like, Frank.
And I'm gonna use that 15 to listen while we go.
Frank.
Give me some ale.
You couldn't answer when I was at the bar.
Oh, give me some ale. All right, do it.
It's too late.
Did he just say that to you, or was that loud enough that I could hear it?
Frank, how loud was it?
It was just like, are you walking away?
You already have?
Yeah, I'm just yeah, you can hear it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna.
Like 2 or 3 people are like, yeah, give me some
Oh, no.
Great.
All
right. Great. We'll go to the table, and once Tabitha like has our spot or whatever, I'll go back and I'll get Frank an ale.
Okay.
You gonna pour it down my shirt?
Sure.
In my bag?
These people aren't gonna care.
He's not wrong. They won't. No.
Kind of like,
Okay. What are you guys doing?
we're just sitting.
You're listening.
I'm listening.
Just sitting there. Just enjoying your ale. Your ale.
Yeah, ale.
Ale.
And
That was a
occasionally
good accent. I was
pouring
like,
Frank a sip.
It's a good one, Deborah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Pouring one out for your dead homie.
For our undead homie.
Quite literally.
I have a
Which reminds me, how does
question
that
about
work?
this. Yeah. Since it's just my head, do I get a lot more drunk or not drunk at all?
Well, here's how I see this, my friend.
Yes.
If you can't be affected by poisons, I don't think you can get drunk.
Okay.
I don't know that you can taste it, really, either.
No.
It's up to
It makes
you.
sense.
But
I think I'm just kind of trolling them. Just kind of.
cool. There's just the bag's kind of getting wet.
Just kind of get away.
thanks, Frank. Can I?
If you poured it directly into like your eye socket to like go into like whatever your brain, if like maybe if you had that,
Yeah.
maybe you get a buzz. I don't know.
Okay.
Can I look around the like carvings? Actually, I'm like, Roarke, I'm kind of nervous that this might be a trap. So what if I leave Frank with you, and then I'll sneak upstairs and just check the room?
Right. Wait, is there an upstairs?
Yeah, that's
Like
where
the
we're
tavern
meeting
part?
later. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Okay, hold on. And I'm like, Frank, I'm leaving you with Roarke.
No, shout.
And then I drop him with Roarke, and I'm gonna sneak upstairs.
I set the skull on the table, and if anybody looks at me, I just say, "What?"
Okay. There's a skull on the table.
I just smile.
Like, two people are like, he looked like he enjoyed his death. You're sneaking upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Go and roll your sneak.
Sneak. 25.
Okay. You, again, just kind of like disappear into the crowd. One of these days, it's going to be a nat one. It's
I
gonna be like,
know.
One of these days.
It's gonna be so bad.
you kind of just disappear into the crowd
I'm
and
gonna, like,
start
my
making
hood
your
up.
way upstairs.
Okay.
As you Assassin's Creed your hood up. And make your way up to the stairs. Coming up to the stairs, you see kind of 3 room offshoots.
Okay.
The Thieves' Cant wasn't necessarily specific about which room.
I go in the first room I see.
Okay.
And I'm
Opening
like,
up, it looks just kind of like a rather empty room.
like there's nothing in it?
No.
Okay. Going in the second.
Same thing.
Okay. Going in the third.
Same thing.
Damn. Is there anything on the ceiling?
Nope.
Anything on the floor?
Nope.
Anything under the rug?
Nope.
Anything carved in the banister?
There is a rug, though. No.
Okay. I'm gonna sneak back down.
Great. As she's doing that, I'm finally using that 15.
No, you are doing it for what is the course of this time.
Oh,
period.
okay.
That is why I'm taking time to get to it.
Got it.
Because I don't want to go into the future and then come back and then go back to the you know
Yes.
what I mean?
Back to the future, Marty. I didn't peek, Joe. I saw you look at the screen.
I just like to make sure.
You hear as Tabitha's making her way back down. You hear 2 kind of smaller guys. One has kind of a small set of like nose glasses, like tiny little spectacles on the end of his nose. And the other guy kind of has like a little kind of trifold hat, and they're sitting kind of talking. And one of them was just like, "So where are you gonna stay tonight?" I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna try and make it home before it gets too dark. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and stay here. Just might as well. I know it costs a little bit extra, but it's better safe than sorry."
Oh, I can't hear this.
And it's just like, I mean, you just can't get caught. You can't get caught outside. Not after the sun goes down. And that's kind of where they kind of trail off with your 15.
Okay. Can't get caught out after the sun goes down. Is what they
Sounds
said.
like a classic rock song. Can't get caught after the sun going down. I'm gonna regret doing that.
Oh gosh.
When I sit back down, I go, Frank, what are you doing out?
Frank's just not saying anything. I like it.
No, but did you put Frank on the table?
Yeah, he's sitting out on the table.
He's sitting on the table.
He's behaving. He's fine.
I don't want to say anything, so I don't try to get attention.
It was very smart. I was sitting there with bated breath, like, is he gonna do it? Roarke, you also kind of just you the rest of the conversations that you kind of hear are just different mumble about like, well, did you like you hear about a local brothel?
Right.
People are just talking about that it exists. You don't catch a name, you don't catch where. You just know that there is one in town. And you also catch what sounds like a little bit of talk of the political structure of this place. Like there's an elected leader that's kind of ruling over, but he has a sort of cabinet. It's not like president. It's like an elected monarch.
Wait, just of the town?
Yeah.
Okay. And DP, I'm just going to shorthand that as DP, Dagger Point.
Deep penetration.
Good old DP. We're here in DP, everybody.
So,
great.
As it starts getting later, I'm going to look at the bar and go, Oi, I'm just so tired.
Yeah, Deborah, me too.
George at the bar just just like seething as it continues to chop meat.
I just whisper to Tabitha, you were in prison for a while there, weren't you?
What are you trying to say?
Hey, John.
Who got us to the bar?
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. All right, fine. And great. So we'll just kind of hang out here until it really thins out in the bar. As he just continues working on this meat.
He's got a lot of
Just so
meat.
everyone knows,
That's
I
good
only
radio.
had one
I know,
cup
good.
of ale.
Good to know.
Keeping level-headed.
He eventually people started. He's like, all right, get out your swords. If you're not staying the night, get home. Might as well be safe. So a lot of people, when he says that, get up and start heading out. As you can still see, the sun's kind of low. It's not like when the bar would normally kind of close.
I look at Roarke and I say, be safe.
You say, look, I heard some people talking about how you don't want to be
What?
outside after dark, so it's probably whatever he's waiting
I'm
until the
behind
place
Joe.
closes to talk to us about.
You see the bartender, you see George, kind of put his meat cleaver into like the wood that he's chopping this on, and kind of just like wipe off his hands, wipe it off on his apron, and he kind of pulls his apron off and hangs it up, and then just gives like each of you kind of a look, and then starts to move towards the stairs to go upstairs.
Great. We'll head toward the stairs.
You're grabbing my skull, right?
Yeah, no, with your skull.
Can I just, like, look around and see who's left in the bar?
Yeah, you see kind of a few looking like toughs.
Okay.
The one gentleman with the small glasses is kind of still there.
Okay.
His friend has gotten up and left when everyone else did.
Okay.
But he's still kind of got a drink and is just sitting there.
Okay.
You guys following hot on the heels of George? Or...
No, we'll give it a second, like until he's like upstairs.
Okay.
And then we'll go after.
I look at Roarke and I say, Oi! I'm so horny! Take me now, baby!
Right. Let's go get it hot and heavy, Deborah.
Roll persuasion. No, deception.
Yes, I'm
Natural
proficient.
20. As far as they know, Craig Jurgensen wants it.
21.
They think that we are the horniest people that have ever walked into
The guy
this
with
bar.
glasses is like, and just kind of like goes back to like sipping on his thing. He's like, whoo. And a couple of the toughs, there's like a few of the guys still on the hand dagger, and you just hear like a guy, shit, ah. As he was just like busy looking at you guys. He,
I
like,
look
stabbed
at
himself three times.
I look at those guys and I say, "We're gonna bone like it's no tomorrow." And I keep walking upstairs.
And I look and I kind of like put out and say,
They seem very confused at your rambling. Of, what were you gonna say?
You said what? What'd you say?
Come on, what are you saying?
You gotta... Please.
dirty, I don't want to
No,
say
just
it.
no,
let
we've
it out.
made it this far.
I'm gonna go, because it's true. I'm gonna say, I got water dripping everywhere! And then I'm gonna run.
You hear one just. Roll perception.
20?
21.
Yeah, you thought for a second it might be the guy was looking at the dude's hand that got cut 3 times. It's not. He's about you.
I wink at him, and we go upstairs.
You do.
On the way I look at...
Did you grab Frank?
Yeah,
Wait, no,
we
I
got-
brought his
we got-
hand.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
thought we
established
had said that.
that.
I
I'm in the
just
bag.
want to
On the way
double
up, I
check.
look at
Back
Roarke
in the
and I
bag.
say, don't get any ideas. That was just for the deception.
Oh, obviously.
Okay, you guys make your way to the stairs and begin heading up. You at the top. There are 3 closed doors.
I say, okay, they're both all 3 empty. So do you just want to knock?
Yeah, no, we'll just knock. Yeah,
Okay, knock on the first one.
great. I go knock on the first door.
No response.
Okay, I knocked on the second.
No response.
Look, he wrote some weird thing in the bar that you apparently knew what that was. Do you know how to contact this guy?
Oh, he just said, meet me upstairs.
All right. Well, I go and open the door to the third room then.
No one's in there.
What?
Okay, well, I'll open the doors to the other ones then.
Okay, when you open the door to the second one, he's like, "Why are you knocking?"
I'm just trying
I didn't know if you had any other tenants.
polite.
I wrote a message on the door.
I got it. I just was...
On the door.
I'm gonna look at the door.
On the outside of the door, there's a thieves' cant message like carved into it. It's like this room. It's just like a couple like weird scratches, but you can decipher it as like.
I look at him and say, George, I've been in prison for 8 years, so excuse me, I'm rusty.
Yeah.
I point at it and I
you
say,
talk differently too.
That's true. Also, George, this is our friend Frank, and I pull Frank's head out. I say, Frank, we're good now, as I close the door.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
That's a talking skull.
Yeah, it's me.
He's technically a talking skeleton, and I'm gonna go ahead and
No.
What?
No, I don't want to. No, now.
Wait, you just want to stay? You just want to stay
I like
separate?
the head right now. I mean, it take time for me to put myself together.
Okay, fine. We'll just keep the skull out
okay.
then. All right.
Just
No,
the
that's
skull.
fine.
Did the plague get him?
No,
I found him like this.
It's a many series of events led up to my death, and it's none of your business right now.
Sounds unfortunate.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got plague then.
No, he hasn't got
No.
plagued. No.
No.
Our first experience with this whole plague thing was out in the woods. We saw some fellas in beak masks, and I pull it out, and robes, trying to take a deer somewhere. That's what we know.
Those are the cultists.
The cultists? They got a name, or is it
Right.
just cultists?
They haven't advertised.
Fair.
They just bring death. If you're out at night, and he kind of goes over to like one of the curtains and pulls a curtain open, and you see a couple of shadowy figures kind of moving down different alleys.
Oh.
All in those big beak masks. Several of them have like those lanterns that are tied to chains that go back and forth. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Incense sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this like sickly kind of green smoke billows out from it as it just kind of lays in the street. He's just like, yeah, I'm out every night. If you get caught out there at night, you never heard from again.
Oh.
Well,
Do you
shit.
know if they work for someone?
Honey, I got no idea about him.
Do you know someone who might?
I mean, the problem is we almost threw you out.
Right.
Because people in this town, we don't know who's working with them and who's not.
Right.
Anyone could be a part of these fellas. They always have the masks on. No one knows who they are.
Right.
They come in, they spread this. If it gets into your house, you get boils, you start to die in the night. People get carted off by the doctors.
Wait, what they're spreading around? What's in their lanterns? There is what they're spreading.
Yeah.
All right.
What's in the street right now?
Right.
Like right now, if you were out there,
Right.
they'd either be taking you or you'd be on the ground coughing yourself to death.
But where do they take you?
We don't know. They exit the city at the end of each day, and they come, or at the end of each night, and they come in at the beginning of each night.
So,
We don't know how they get into the city. We don't know how they get out.
I feel like that guy that I don't know about. So never mind.
You feel like you were starting to metagame, but then you didn't.
No, I know about the guy with glasses, don't I?
You didn't hear what he said.
Okay, never mind. Then I'm not gonna say anything.
Great. So I said, okay, so, is there any sort of sewer system or anything that these people might be coming in and out through, or they in the woods or something potentially? We'd like to help you guys put an end to whatever the hell's going on.
If I can get some money out of it.
That is very disconcerting. Every time he talks, it is just upsetting.
You
Well,
get
you don't
used
know
to
what
it,
I've been
George.
through, so don't give me shit.
You don't know what I've been through, mate.
Yeah,
So don't
that's
give
true.
me shit.
That's true. To each their own.
Boys,
To be fair, he's dead, but, George, we would like to...
We live in constant fear.
This is fair.
again, he
look.
is dead.
People have tried. People have tried. We haven't seen them ever again. Okay? Most of the town guard doesn't do shit about this.
Right.
We pretty much just try and take care of our own.
Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough.
The only reason I'm telling you any of this is because at least one of you knows a little bit of thievery.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, double voice.
You know thievery, you should know disguises.
It's not a competition, dear.
Right. Well, George, we would like to stay here for the night, obviously. Because, you know, those things are out there.
Wait.
Whatever's going... What?
Okay, so what if the masks are what's keeping them from not inhaling? So if we disguise ourselves as them and then we go out and then we can just abduct one and go from there. Or we send
That's
Frank.
actually a really good idea.
It's like I have brains.
For you listeners out there, that was the sound of her putting away her cleavage.
And I look to Frank and I
See,
say,
George, roll perception, everyone.
20.
That's a 19?
George,
Nat 20.
George seems a little sad.
I look at Frank and I
It's
say,
really faint, though.
I say, Frank,
Yeah.
I think we should send you. Because if you inhale it, you know, you're okay.
Well, but when we were, when I killed that deer,
Right.
then they immediately said that we should go get that guy, and they pointed to me instead of the deer. As if I meant something more to them than the deer.
Right. That's a good point, Frank. They seemed like they were into some weird shit with you, so,
No, but
how's it-
But I can disguise myself
what
with
I'm
that
saying.
guy.
Right,
We
yeah.
can do that.
I mean, we could
Listen,
technically all
Steve,
disguise
I'm the
ourselves.
woman.
We all have the
Right,
stuff to
but
disguise
what I'm saying
ourselves.
is we should put Frank in the mask first in case
Yeah,
the
make sure
toxin
it's good,
poisons
you know.
him. We could get the plague if it somehow doesn't protect us.
Do you know if
from
this
the
affects
plague.
undead people?
Son, you're the first undead person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
no, I
That
don't.
on you then.
Frank?
Have you seen another undead person?
Dead, undead. No, I haven't.
You have issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Give him his bones.
Great. I pour out the bones out of there.
going on?
Well, we're putting them back together, George. Come on.
Dear God.
I mean,
Christus.
what? You didn't think we were carrying around just a skull, did you?
Yeah.
I want to.
He's flabbergasted at your line.
I want to grab a rib, like a rib, and I'm like, Frank, where does this go?
I had a book on it.
Make an intelligence check.
It's a 10. Oh no.
Plus
Plus your intelligence, which is stupid.
15.
15. It goes somewhere in the torso region.
It goes somewhere in the torso region.
All right, we're gonna play Assemble the Frank
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Minigame music.
both of you.
mini game. We went down the little green tube and we're like, boop, boop, boop.
You guys make medicine checks. You, Frank,
Oh boy.
make wisdom saving throw.
I rolled a 10.
That's a nice 5 right there on that medicine check.
15.
15?
15, 10, and 5.
Okay.
Yay, multiples of 5.
Roarke, you just cut people up. You don't know how they go together.
That's fair. That's fair.
Some assassin training has led you to learn, like, where more things are vital than others. But it doesn't pick up a lot of the little details in between. You know where vital things are, like neck stuff and
Like arms and legs.
Yeah, well, you're more arms than legs. She's more like, I know, like how maybe a collarbone is structured.
Okay.
Frank, they're just doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
They're putting things in places that don't go there, and you're like, but you also don't know some of them, so it's just kind of like, I don't want to speak up and be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put one of his ribs for his penis bone, so it's like perpetually curved erect.
Hey, that's not. You go ahead. But...
Frank, you are reassembled hodgepodgely.
George, does this look right? Is George still in the room?
George is still in the room and is also a butcher and would know anatomy quite well.
Why didn't he help us? We never asked.
We didn't ask.
You're fucked up.
Can you help somehow?
Not anymore.
I'll give you a couple gold pieces.
How much gold did you give me?
How much gold will I give you?
Yeah.
Let's see. I can give you 2.
2?
2.
George puts you back together right. He puts a few bones in places that are supposed to be there. He goes to move the rib bone and then leaves it.
Also, I'm assuming that when we disassembled him, we got his cloak and his spell book as well.
Yeah. You're fine. He
Great.
is reassembled as he was.
Great.
I say,
His moist spell book.
I say,
Boys.
okay, Frank, and I put the cloak on him, and then I put the mask on him.
Okay. You
All
now, apart from being right up next to him and being able to see through the goggles that there's, like, nothing back there, you can't see it.
Do you have any eggs, George?
Or perhaps eyes from whatever that was you were cutting up earlier.
I can give you eyes.
That'll work.
Yeah,
That'll work.
We'll take 2.
Alright. He makes his way, like, down the stairs. You actually hear him, like, down the stairs, and you just slowly start to hear a back up the stairs, and the door kind of creaks open. He's got, like, 6 you can choose from.
Nice.
I like the green one. Can I get 1 green and 1 brown?
Sure thing, mate.
Ah, sweet.
They're different sizes. So one is like really
in your
big,
sockets.
and one is kind of just like rolling around.
Yeah, really shove it in there.
Yeah. One you're like having to like beat in there. The other one just kind of is like marbling around in the socket.
Incredible.
Okay, Frank.
Okay.
Go in the street.
In the street.
Listen very, very carefully.
Listening.
Go in the street.
Okay.
Grab one
Grab one.
in the mask, like we saw.
Grab in their mask.
No.
Okay.
Mark, you want to help me?
Grab somebody with
okay.
their mask or grab their mask?
No. Grab somebody with a mask.
Okay.
And bring them back into the bar.
Well, wouldn't that bring the stuff back in here?
Yeah. How about
George, would it?
As long as they don't have an incense thing, I would think it'd be fun, right?
I don't know. But here's my suggestion, because I don't want you doing this in my bar.
Fair.
Yeah.
I have a cellar around back.
All right.
Here's the key, and he pulls out like a rusty key and puts it down Tabitha's cleavage.
Okay, that seems invasive.
Her put away cleavage?
Yeah.
He just
He's
reaches
just
right in there.
Okay.
And it's like, you can use that to get through the key and go into this cellar. We can grab one of them and put them. Do whatever you want. I don't want to know about it, but you owe me 5 gold at the end of the night.
Done.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Great. Tabitha, I'm gonna suggest if you wait in the cellar, I will help Frank wrangle someone.
Do you want to die?
We have the masks. It'll be all right.
But we don't know that it's actually going to be all right. That's the problem. That's why we're sending Frank first.
Well, either way, if we have to go outside at some point. If we, I mean,
Get to the
is
cellar?
there a way to the cellar
way
from the
in?
inside?
There's not a way to get the cellar from the inside.
Great. So either
Well,
way, we
then why
gotta.
don't I just help you guys since I'll be outside anyway?
Fair enough.
Okay.
And we all have our masks and robes on, and we go outside.
Wait. Let's send
I'll
Frank
go up first, yeah.
Yeah, send
Yeah,
Frank
yeah.
first, and
Good.
then make sure it's okay.
As you guys go to the downstairs, the few people that are still in the bar immediately like
Right.
flood to the back side of the bar, and are just trying to like stay as like minimal as possible, but they all have weapons drawn as you guys come down the stairs.
Ah, right. There were still a couple of
there are
people.
people.
That's fine.
That's right.
I say,
We don't say anything.
nope. We just
Keep
go.
moving.
Okay.
I stay there for a little
go.
bit longer and then keep moving. Because I can.
We'll still send Frank out first, and we'll just keep an eye on the people in the bar as we're next to the door, like getting ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
Frank, you
I
heading
can
out?
go outside.
Great, Frank, just give us a little signal to come outside.
I'll knock on the door.
Fair enough.
Once,
Frank,
single time.
You head out into the street.
Mm-hmm.
You have no way of knowing if this poison affects you because you're immune to poison.
Mm-hmm.
So you're outside and you're fine.
Outside.
You see a couple of people kind of coming down the street, and they're like, "Hey, get in line, mate.
Line? Which one?
Get in line with us. What are you doing? Why
I
are you in
was
the
just.
pub?
I want to get a beer. I was so drunk. I'm so drunk right now.
We don't go in the buildings. It's part of the rules."
I'm sorry. I wanted to get drunk. You know how it is.
Good God.
I'm sure you're married too, man. You know how it is. You know, man. I'll get in line.
You get in line, start walking with them?
Wait!
Okay. They start walking away from the bar.
Oh no.
You just staying with them?
What is it? Where are they walking to?
Away from the bar. Just deeper into the city.
Oh no.
Ah, guys. You know, I'm feeling real tired tonight. I think I left my shoe back at the bar. I'll be right back. And I run. I run back to the bar.
They don't seem too concerned. They're just like, okay, that one drank way too much. It's probably on peyote. You get back to the bar.
Alright, I open the door, knock on the door.
We come out.
Okay, you guys come out.
You guys
How
come
long
out.
did that take?
Huh? Maybe like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
No, Frank.
Both of you guys make Constitution saving throws.
Oh gosh.
With advantage.
That is going to be 16.
So I took the highest one, right?
Yes.
11.
11? Cool. You guys are fine.
Okay.
Great.
The masks kind of deviate most of the whatever it is. You do remember that you stabbed a hole through one of them. Not sure which. But you guys are doing fine, and the poison is not affecting
Okay,
you.
say,
Great.
let's grab one and go.
Great. So, are there a bunch of these guys, like, walking around
There
individually, or are they all in a line?
They're
Like, all of them?
patrols. So, like, there's occasionally, like, 3 that'll pass by. And, like, when you were watching from the upstairs window, you could see, like, 2 streets where there would be, like, 3, and they would go into different areas.
Nice.
Okay.
They don't generally split off,
Okay.
from what you've seen.
Alright.
I have a
I'm
charm
gonna-
person spell.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. That seems more subtle than trying to take out 3 of these guys at once.
I'm going to sneak into the shadows.
Okay. Roll stealth.
Just.
Oh.
Ooh, 14.
Okay, you're pretty stealthy right now.
It's dark. But yeah. All right. So, do you and I want to kind of go up to group of one of them and say we lost someone or something, and we need one of them to come with us to
If
find
there's 2 and you bring them close enough to me, I can sneak up and just take one out,
Great.
and then we'll keep the other one.
Great. Well, how's about we do that near the entrance to the cellar so we can
Yeah.
just dip in there?
Yeah.
I'm sneaking to the cellar.
Okay. You
Great.
go around back, and there's the entrance to the
So
cellar.
should someone watch for other people?
How about you and I can just go and say that we lost one of ours. I'll
Okay.
stay pretty quiet since you're the one that's gonna charm somebody. But
Okay.
So I'll leave that to you. But I'm here for backup since she's at the place where we're waiting up to do this.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. You are at the cellar by yourself, and you
Still
two
laughing
are
about
where?
that. He just left.
You just got him. I know.
Okay. Sorry.
You guys are doing where? No.
We're honing in.
Probably trying to stay pretty close to like the area of
the bar, but trying to find
the bar, but yeah, and in the kind of toward the edges and everything, trying to keep not like super obvious that we're here, so we can find someone and not be found by someone.
In a little bit, a group of 3 starts to walk by again, like as they must have made a way around like a block or something.
Gotcha.
Begins to make their way up the street that the bar's on.
Great. These guys.
And you can see the swinging incense lantern in front of them.
Let's do that.
It's probably a better term for that, but whatever.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
So we'll go up. We'll go up to him. Frantically, a little flustered. We're a little flustered.
Okay.
Great.
What do you guys say?
I'm leaving it to Frank. He's the one with the charm person spell.
I don't know what happened. I was just walking along, and then this guy came out of this building just out of nowhere and just punched one of my friends in the face.
Wait, what?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. And he just kind of he runs off.
Yeah, we gotta get after that guy.
Yeah, can you help us?
Roll persuasion. Plus your charisma and whatever your persuasion is.
Where the hell's my yeah, no, that's 13.
13?
It's a 13.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll come with you.
Yeah, come on, this way.
Great. Some of you guys can keep on patrol.
We
just
3 of them are coming with you.
Fair enough.
You try.
It's okay. They're all just
Can I
like...
see them doing this?
No, because you're on the back side of the building.
Okay.
I'm going to take them around the back side of the building.
Where are you on the back side of the building?
I'm right on the wall, hidden.
Like
the
right,
doors.
so like as this turns, you're like on the corner. So that, okay.
Yeah.
You start leading them back there.
Yeah.
Okay. You head that back way. Roarke, where are you? Are you behind them?
Yeah, I'm on the tail end.
Okay, so there's 3 in the middle, and you're on the tail end.
Before they get there, I'm gonna unlock the cellar.
Okay.
And like kind of have it open.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
for reference, do the like would Tabitha notice my horns like kind of poking in my hood at all? So she knows not to like stab me.
Not necessarily.
Okay. I didn't know if they poked at all.
You might want to hope that they don't.
Yeah, because then we'll know.
But
I'm just wondering what she knows so she doesn't stab me.
you don't know.
Fair enough.
Neither does she.
Fair enough.
I'm still talking really loud.
Frank's still talking really loud. You round the corner, Frank. You see open the cellar door.
Yeah.
The guy that's right behind you with incense is like,
I don't see anyone.
I'm going to shoot arrow into the one with carrying the incense.
you are very close to him. You will have disadvantage using a bow at that distance.
Okay, I'll stab him in the head.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
That's a
20.
Go ahead and roll your d4 and your d6 and then double it.
As I see her like popping out of the shadows
16.
to stab somebody in the head, I'm going to stab the guy in the back.
Plus did you add your dex to that?
Do I double my dex too?
No, you just added dex to it.
20.
Okay. You stick your dagger in his temple and pull it out the front and cut out of his skull, like his eyes and everything. As he's just like...
I don't want to catch the incense before it drops.
And goes fall. You catch it. Roarke, what are you doing?
I wanna just two in the back of this. One in the throat, like the back of the throat, so they can't scream. But I want to kill that guy. So we've only got one.
The dude in the back.
Yeah. Well, that first one really missed, and the second one was a 12.
Okay. The second one will just hit.
Whew.
That's 5.
5 damage.
Yeah.
You nick part of his throat, but don't quite get it through as the first one comes in through part of his cloak, but doesn't catch his body. And so he like sees this blade kind of pass here and starts to turn. It just gets like part of his throat, but not into him.
Can I see that happening?
You are currently ripping the dagger out of the face of the other dude.
Cool. Great.
Frank, would you like to take an action?
Since that guy that you tried to hit, he's not dead yet. So we're gonna have to change that.
Right.
Dear God.
I'm gonna rip off my arm, and I don't know. Let me see. Actually, you know what? Ray of Sickness.
Ooh.
Ray of Sickness spell.
Okay. What do we have to do?
It's a poison spell. So I'm not quite sure how that affects these people, but it's poison nonetheless. Here it is.
Come on, Frank.
It's a 13 plus what?
Plus your spell modifier, which I think is 7 because your intelligence is stupid.
5, yeah. So 18
You're fine.
already.
It's
You're
18.
good. You're way there.
You're good. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. That's 5, and that's 5. That's 10.
Okay. He takes part of the damage.
Oh, the mask.
As you get that he is somewhat resistant to sickness and poison.
Mm-hmm.
But you just hear like a and start to see like fluid kind of like coming out of the mask as he falls to the ground and dies.
Nice.
Yikes.
And then I say, get him in the cellar. Get him in the cellar.
Yeah.
To the other
No,
guy.
there's a third guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
the third
for the
guy.
third guy. That's what I'm saying.
The third dude, who's going to roll to see if he notices all the other stuff, he just notices Frank turning and shooting something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's turning. Who's attempting to do what?
Me, because I'm behind him.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Great. I want to just try to knock him out.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Or you can put him in a headlock.
Remember when you did this last time?
That's 13.
A 13 to hit.
Yeah.
We'll just hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Great. So I'm with the pommel.
I got you.
Is it still a D6 with the pommel, or should I do like a D4?
It's a D6.
Okay.
You're still using your sword.
Okay, that's
Okay.
5.
You didn't roll a 1.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
like you can kill a person
While
with the pommel of a
he's doing
sword,
that-
but like I understand what you're doing.
While
That's
he's
5,
doing-
and if that doesn't take him down, I'll hit him again.
While he's doing that, can I look in the cellar to see if there's like stairs to get down, or if we're just gonna have to like throw him down?
It looks like there's like a staircase
Okay.
down. He gets hit in the head and is like, and is still on his feet, but like really not knowing where he is.
And I go, just take him down. Just take him down.
Great, and so I'll like
Bodies.
grab
We're
him
gonna do with the
and like
bodies.
just move.
Okay, make a strength check.
We're gonna do with the bodies.
Okay, Frank.
Bodies.
That's an
You
11.
grab one, and I'll grab one.
All right, let's
and
grab a
we'll
body.
drag
I'll grab a
him.
body.
You just beat him by a
Oh,
point.
good.
And drag him. And are you throwing him down the stairs or?
Frank and I have
We gotta
the
get
other
bodies.
two,
No,
and we're
I'm
dragging
not
him
gonna
down.
throw him because I'm not gonna risk like him just getting mangled.
Gotta get the
Going
bodies.
downstairs.
So you get him down the stairs.
Yeah.
You guys get
We
the
have the other
bodies
two, we're dragging
down
them
the
down.
stairs.
I said, close the door behind us.
Good.
And you
close the
close the
doors.
doors.
And I have the key back in my boobs.
It is very dark in here.
Prestidigitation.
So there's now a light. This kind of green fog kind of filters in through the door a little bit from where you guys have had it, and it just kind of permeates and lingers on the ground.
We
Okay.
close the door, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you close the door. It's just it had been open for a little bit.
Great.
And you brought a lot of bodies, and
I want to tie
if you're
that
still
guy
holding the incense thing, it's down there
up. Yeah,
because you caught the
Oh
incense.
shit. Okay, I'm gonna open the door. Like, no, I'm not.
Did you want to leave it up there?
I don't want anyone to find it and then be like, where are they?
It's up to you.
So whatever
Can
you
I
want to do
like
with it.
put it out? Is there like, is it just like
It's just like
smoke-
smoking
smoke?
stuff as just like pluming out.
I'd like to take one of the dead one's cloaks and like wrap it up in it.
Okay. You
Okay,
do.
good. Do that.
You wrap it up in the cloak.
Great.
The body, when you pull it off, just begins to kind of like boil up as it's on the ground in the smoke. You start to kind of just see like little boils kind of form up on it.
Oh, gosh. That's nasty.
All right.
Glad you don't have scan.
Glad.
Is that guy that I brought down here? Is he like doing anything, or is he just?
He's like, but he's pretty out of it. You still have him like
okay.
pulled up.
I would like to just to tie him up. So
Okay,
so
you
I
use
can
your
do-
rope, tie him up.
Great.
You tie him up.
All right.
Is there like a chair?
There's not. It's
Great.
pretty like there's two bigger kind of kegs down here.
Okay.
And
On a
then you
keg.
see, upon looking in the room when the light comes up, also, you see several hanging bodies of pigs.
Oh,
Great.
good.
I say we should probably
and
tell
different
George
meats.
not to serve those to people.
You won't be happy about that.
Well, we'll give him some extra gold and he'll be fine. I
Yeah,
think that
that
there's
sounds
bigger
good. That
fish to
sounds
fry here.
Bigger fries to fish.
Bigger
Sorry.
fries. To...
I haven't eaten in a while, you know. It's just,
yeah, how's that work for you?
I don't eat.
Sorry about that,
Do you
Frank.
Yeah.
do you want to eat?
I wish I can. I physically can, but I don't really taste anything. Besides my own sorrow. Anyway, so you guys want to just check out?
Yeah, we'll interrogate this guy.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
So, look at the guy and say, all right, friend.
Wait, I'm gonna go around the back of him and just keep my dagger on his throat, just in case.
Okay, you do. You put it there, and he's like coming to consciousness.
Hey, where am I? Where am I?
Maybe we should just take the mask off.
No, because if we do that, he'll look like that guy, and we won't get anything out of him.
True.
So I said,
What guy?
Shut up! Shut up!
all right, I'm gonna need you to keep it yourself at a reasonable volume here, friend.
Why did you guys do this?
Because you're an asshole. That's shut up.
Who are you people?
What?
Who are you?
You know.
Plot twist, friend. We're not actually cultists. If you don't want to die, I suggest you cooperate.
Make an intimidation check.
Plus charisma 13.
Okay. He seems sufficiently frightened to be quiet.
All right. Now listen, my friend here just has a question for you because I know that you want to say something, Brooke.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was like, I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Look, we want to know what the hell you guys are doing, spreading what this plague is. We want to know who you're working for. We want to know why. So I suggest you start talking, unless you want your skin to start bubbling.
Bubbling.
I was just gonna say bubbling.
Liam Neeson wants you to start bubbling.
Sorry. It was just really funny.
Yeah, and if you don't listen to him, you'll look like this. And I pull back my.
Oh my god!
That's right.
He looks terrified at that. We just.
Spit it out, you little shout.
We just do what we're supposed to. We do what we're told.
Who tells you to?
The masters.
Who are the
Where-
masters?
I don't know.
Where do we find them?
I joined so I wouldn't die every night in fear.
Coward.
Yeah.
Everyone roll perception. Yes.
Hell's my. There it is.
7.
21.
Okay.
This mask is very...
That is a nice little. It's 8.
Nice. 21. You hear what kind of sounds like some rust kind of moving.
Rust moving.
Russ.
Yeah, you hear like a creaking, like
I'm gonna look at the door.
door's open.
I'm gonna sneak into the end of the stairway, and I'm gonna go, everybody be quiet.
Okay. Are you like?
I'm
go
like
ahead and-
sneaking up the stairs.
You're sneaking up the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll sneak.
20?
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything?
I'm putting my scimitar to the guy's face and saying, "Don't make a sound."
Okay.
I go over to the end of the stairs are here. I go over here like I'm ready to hit somebody with my arm.
Got you. Make a strength saving throw, Tabitha.
Oh shit. 5?
As you begin making your way up to the stairs, you get to almost the top of the stairs, and you just see a boot that just right in your face,
Oh.
and propels you down the stairs.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
You take 1 point of just like a bludgeoning, and kind of just the stairs as well. As you tumble down the stairs.
Okay.
Your dex saves you from most of that. Those of you in the room just hear shing, shing, shing.
What the
Oh
shing?
no.
I cast Blade Ward. Blade Ward.
You do. As the lumbering body of George comes down the stairs with his butcher knife, he closes the door behind him. Now that we've got everyone down here, Time to cut up some meat. Roll initiative.
Oh, no.
What the frick?
I do not like that, George. I do
9.
not like that at all. I'll be last. I'll be last in this initiative.
What'd you roll?
A 1.
You will be last in this.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled an 11.
So my initiative is -7.
What'd you roll, Mariel? No. Tabitha.
A 9.
A 9, and then
It's
Frank,
5
11.
plus your initiative, right?
What?
Right?
Yeah.
Plus 4? Okay, 9. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Then,
Oh, I did not like that entrance. I was not a fan of that.
then it is Tabitha, and then it is Roarke.
Did not see that
It's
coming.
really focused on this guy.
Yep. Is he a mess?
What?
Huh?
Wait, yeah, so did George have a mask on?
Yes.
Alright.
He did?
Yes.
What the beep, George?
George has a mask on. He doesn't have the hood. He just has his like butcher like
I
apron
think he's
on.
like a master. Oh, let's go to town. I'm ready.
Oh gosh.
George is first.
Oh gosh.
You see a knife just come flying through the room.
Oh.
As he has his butcher knife here and just kind of whips a knife just straight past all of you guys into the head of the dude in the chair.
Oh.
Who just
Oh boy.
and
Oh, God.
just kind of crumples back in the chair. Now that that's dealt with, on to you boys. I'm gonna enjoy you.
Yeah. Try cutting this meat, boy.
With that, it's your turn.
And Rourke points one of his scimitars at the penis bone.
Shit, I can't do this, can I? How big is the room and how far away are these two from me?
This is very small. This is close quarters, my friend.
Damn it, okay.
What radius are you worried about right now?
Never mind.
Is it like a 30-foot radius?
Half that.
15-foot radius?
15-foot radius?
15-foot square.
15 square.
What is it?
Thunderwave.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, because it's based on your position.
Yeah.
You'd have to be
If you could place it somewhere else.
I know me some Thunderwave.
Like, do you put... Yeah, no. It's based from, like...
It's based from him and then...
You
Okay.
out.
I can't disguise myself.
Also,
as you know.
how many... What spell slots do you have left?
I think...
Because you've used Blade Ward. You've used...
He didn't use Charm
He didn't
Person.
use Charm Person, but he used Ray of Sickness. Is that a cantrip?
That's... No. I used
Can't imagine.
True Strike, Blade of War, Prestidigitation, and Ray of Sickness. All of them but Ray of Sickness are cantrips. So I got one more.
Sweet!
Yeah, I got one more.
Awesome. I didn't know Blade Ward was a
Joe.
cantrip.
Yeah, Blade Ward's
Yeah,
good.
dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're up.
Let's see. I will use... I can't use Ray of Sickness again, can I?
Yeah, you can use it again.
Hell yeah, we'll do that then. Hell, here we go.
Joe rolled a 2.
That's a 7.
A 7 to hit. It will not.
Oh, darn it.
As you create this energy, you just kind of cast it out. He just kind of like gets out of the way of it as it kind of hits the back wall. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
I don't think I can.
I mean, you can move still.
Oh, I'll move away.
Away. You
Away.
get to the back wall away from him.
Yeah.
Tabitha, it's your turn.
Is my sneak gone?
Yes, because he kicked you.
Yeah. Good point. I'm going to stand up and wipe my nose from the blood.
You do. It's really cool.
And I'm going to throw my short sword at him.
You will have disadvantage
No, I'm
at
just
throwing
going to
a
run
sword.
and hit it. I'm just going to hit him.
Okay. Roll the hit.
11?
Will not hit.
George is an agile son of a gun.
That's true.
Cutting that meat all
And
day.
then can I get hidden?
No, because you're standing right next to him.
No, I know. Can I like go away from him and hide in the shadows?
So disengage?
You would have to have disengage.
Oh, that's right. No, you don't
and-
have those yet.
And hiding would be very hard in this space because
Dang it,
there's
okay.
a light on.
Okay,
and
okay.
It's
I
very
got it, I
small
got it, I got it.
quarters. Roarke, it's your turn.
Great. I would like to do my best to disarm him by removing his arm with my swords.
Roll the hit.
The first one is a 14.
Well, do you pause, because there is a way to do this. Do you want to disarm him of his weapon, or are you just trying to cut his arm?
I'm just trying to cut his arm off.
Okay, cool. Roll a hit.
The first one was a 14.
We'll just hit.
Great. So that first one will do 5. Jeez, this one likes to really roll 2s. So the first one's 5 damage. The second is a 15 to hit.
We'll also hit.
And that is 7 damage.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, wait, no. 8.
Okay. You do. You take both into his arm, and they dig in probably to the bone, and he just kind of like laughs at you.
Great. I didn't like that.
It's now his turn. He is going to attack the person whose blade is in his arm.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is going a 2.
Oh, now I understand the meat cleaver thing from earlier.
14 to hit.
That is just gonna hit.
Okay.
But we killed the guy with the meat cleaver.
Right, but I think it's like a trope.
He is going to do
Or George gave
8
him
points of damage.
Dear God.
As he just kind of like pulls his arm out and jams his meat cleaver into your like front.
Man, you were just getting wrecked.
As it just kind of like cuts in like
that was,
opposite of your heart.
That was not a good thing for me.
Down to your rib cage.
Oh.
And just kind of like leaves it there, doesn't pull it out. It's just like connected to you right now. Frank, it's your turn.
Before I do this, is there any light coming in from the
your prestidigitation
cellar? From the cellar,
is...
the cellar door?
Oh, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Enough for him, enough for George to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. I'm out of spells.
You got cantrips.
You got a lot of cantrips, though.
Yeah, I do. They don't do any damage. I'm going to...
You have Witch Bolt. Right? Isn't that a cantrip?
No, Witch Bolt's a spell, I think.
Oh,
that's
might be.
Yeah, first level. Let me see.
Magic Missile first level, too?
Yeah, Magic Missile.
I guess I could throw my dagger at him.
Do it.
You could arm flog him.
Arm flog him?
You could.
Arm flogging.
It's up to you.
So let's do some arm flogging.
Okay, so Frank, you rip off your left arm. Are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed, yes.
Okay, so you just rip off your left arm and kind of just come wailing at him with your arm. Go ahead and roll a hit.
All right. Come on, baby boy. Would that be an athletics?
No, it's just you add your proficiency and your strength.
That'd be...
Or your dex. I'll give it to you if your dex is higher as a dexy weapon.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
We'll hit.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice.
And then that does 1d8. Now, I assume
D8.
I assume I have proficiency with my arm.
Yeah.
You do, but you wouldn't add your proficiency to that. You add your dexterity to that.
Yay.
That was a 5.
Plus
3?
3.
Wait, yeah, your dexterity is 16?
Yeah.
Dear God.
out of you. So what is that?
That's 8.
8? Cool. You use your arm to bitch slap him across the face, and you see the bones on the fingers leave like 3 cuts right across the front of his face. Doesn't look happy. Tabitha, it's your turn.
I'm going to my cleavage back down, and I'm gonna go, George.
Is this under your cloak?
I go.
Oh no. Oh no.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
Oh,
a dog.
Yeah. It's still around.
Shoot. 14.
You feel pain,
Oh.
but your skin is maintaining its existence.
I immediately
Okay.
I'm like.
For you listeners out there, that was the sound of her zipping herself back up.
I go. Okay. Okay. George. We're thieves, you and I. So just tell me why you tricked me, because I don't believe you would do that to me. Using my persuasion.
With the butcher knife in my chest still, I say, I think we might be past that.
Roll persuasion.
That's
25.
Okay.
Just give it a second.
Roarke, what would you like to do?
I would like to.
It's not his turn yet.
Well, while it's not my turn, I want to get his butcher knife out of my chest.
Okay. Make a strength check. This will be your bonus action.
That sucker's pretty in there. It's a 8. 8 to pull it out.
Yeah, no, it's in there.
Okay.
What would you like to do? You still have one action.
Is this my turn now?
No, yeah, this is your turn. I was saying it's not George's turn to respond to her persuasion.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then I'm gonna.
Wait, did I not get an action, or is my persuasion the action?
This is an action.
Okay, got it.
Great, yeah. No, I'm gonna try to cut the rest of his arm off. So
Okay.
If I got to the bone the last time around, that is gonna be a 23 to hit.
Okay, it's gonna hit.
That's 5 damage.
Okay. You try and get it around to hack through the same arm. Mm-hmm. Mind you, this guy's in your chest pretty deep.
Right.
So getting that doesn't get much but a glancing blow on his arm.
Great.
But you nick down in the elbow of his arm, probably down to the bone.
In his what's it called? Never mind.
His inner elbow.
Your armpit.
Elbow
Not
pit.
the elbow pit.
Nice.
Help it.
George would know what that's called.
He would. He's really good at that sort of thing.
Is he still holding on to his butcher knife?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
Good.
It's his turn.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
In reply to your persuasion,
Fun fact, I hate when Andrew smiles because it's never good.
a 13 to hit.
Nope.
He rips out the meat cleaver from Roarke and swings it at your head, and you like matrix back, and it just kind of comes over you. For his bonus action, he's going to attempt to grab you, like grapple.
Oh.
I had such a high persuasion.
Yeah, but it's like in the middle of combat.
True.
He also has holes in his arm and all that good stuff, and had a butcher knife in your friend.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a strength saving throw for me.
Little murder boy.
She didn't roll super great,
9?
so plus anything.
No, 8 + 1, 9.
He actually gets a hold of you. Not like super strong hold. You're pretty able. You probably would be able to get free on your turn. But it's just like, I serve a greater purpose than you ever will. And it is Frank's turn.
Alright, I take my arm. I do like a flip in the air. I grab it by the hand. You know, it's hand to hand.
Yeah.
So you're gonna beat him instead of
Technically
slashing?
hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah, technically hand to hand. So I whip it back, and I... That's
Oh, no, that'll hit.
16? That'll hit.
That'll hit.
I whip it back, and I... That's the wrong one. And I do it 2 damage.
Plus your dex.
5.
Okay. How would you like to do this?
No.
Yes.
No. What?
I would like to bring the... You know, what's that socket called? Like that...
Your
ball-
shoulder, the ball joint in
Yeah.
your
I'm
shoulder.
gonna ask him why you're doing it.
Bring that down with great wet force.
Moist force.
And just kind of like bop him on the head. And he just kind of just stands there and then...
Got you. You pull your arm. Your arm's already out, and you flip it over as he's grabbing Tabitha and is like, "I serve a greater purpose than you will ever know." And just like, excuse me. There it is.
There it is.
As he just goes,
Don't have to fix that in post.
and just hits the ground, and you start to see like warm, like blood kind of trickle out of his head on the ground.
And I say, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank.
Uh-huh, that's me.
Frank.
That's still me over here. You're welcome.
That was really amazing,
Thank you.
but we learned nothing.
Yeah, well, what would you rather me do?
No, I'm.
Oh, it was strangling you? I'm sorry for saving your life there, Tabitha.
No, Frank, I appreciate it,
Uh-huh.
but
I'm just trying to stop the bleeding from my chest right now. I'm fine with the fact that
Go ahead and
killed
roll
him.
medicine real quick for me, Roarke.
That's a 17, 18.
You get a hit point back.
Great.
Put you at
Just
2,
one.
right?
2? Yeah, 2.
Yeah, there we
2's
go.
nice. 2's much better than 1.
It's very true.
I say, okay, so he serves a greater purpose.
Yeah.
It just serves as leaders, I guess.
Yeah, he works for someone.
Yeah, we really didn't learn anything from that.
Yep, we really learned literally nothing.
I was
wow.
really hoping that we would get a little longer with that other guy.
Should we do the thing we just did with 3 more people? Let's try that again.
You know, maybe we wait a little bit first, Frank, and then we do it again.
Let's take,
I just need a minute.
Oh, that's right. You're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
after that,
I forget about the whole bleeding thing. I'm not
Right.
used to that anymore.
After that, maybe next time, maybe for the next one, we just get one guy, and then maybe that'll
I want
help
to
that whole
investigate his
process.
body.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Roll investigation for me.
16? 17?
Okay. You find a butcher knife.
I'm gonna keep it.
A very, very sharp butcher knife.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a hook at the top of it.
Tasty.
For grabbing like parts of meat and then chopping it. It might have a function. His apron is like all bloodied now from like where like blood is kind of trickling from his own head. You do note on the back of his neck, you see a small little tattoo. It's just like a little black square on the back of his neck. That's about it. It's just a little black square.
I'm gonna cut it out.
Of his neck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like your style.
Roll. No, you don't need to roll. You cut it out. Are you using his butcher knife?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna
Fitting.
use my dagger.
I was about to say a little bit less finesse, but like okay.
It's still fitting.
Yeah, you kind of finesse dagger the square out. The second you pull that tattoo from his body, the skin of it, his skin begins to boil up in the smoke that it's laying in.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
Okay. Well, I have this.
Great.
A piece of skin.
Are you adding skin flap to your inventory?
I am.
Great. So yeah, if we just want to give it a minute, and Frank, maybe if you could just bring one guy down here, that might.
Yeah, I'll charm him or something.
Great. So, I would like to take a short rest, being at 2 health.
Can I see anything else about him? Sorry, not to catch you
No, you're
off.
fine. That's all I wanted.
Not about him.
What about the
Look at the
tattoo?
other guys.
It's just a small black square.
Okay.
The skin around it though has not. It and the skin around it has not boiled at all.
I want to go check out the other guys and see specifically if they also have the little black square.
They do not.
They do not.
When you go look for anything. Are you looking anywhere else?
And also just if they've got any stuff.
They don't particularly have anything good. There's more of their robes and hoods if you'd like to look at any of them. Everyone roll perception.
Jeez.
24.
15?
You both note, Frank, you're doing something.
Yeah.
Putting your arm back.
Putting your arm back on,
Yeah.
being like, what's this rib bone down here doing? You guys both notice hanging in the back now from the fight, having moved some stuff, a few human bodies on meat hooks.
I don't like that.
Can we look and see if there's anything on the bodies that are like similar to each other, like markings or anything?
They've been carved up.
Wait,
Oh, what he said earlier was meat.
It was
human meat.
I'm really glad I didn't order a
No, that's
sandwich.
scrumptious.
Oh, God.
Me either.
Wait a minute. Tabitha, let me see that skin flap. And it's not
the biggest pickup line of all time.
foreskin, penis bone. So it's not bubbly.
Nope.
But his body's bubbly.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ink.
Wait a minute. Yeah, there's something about this marking or whatever it was that was keeping him from getting this plague or whatever it is.
Can we notice anything about the ink?
I mean, it just looks like a tattoo of those small spots.
Is it magical? Frank, can you tell if this is magical or not?
Let's
Roll Arcana.
let's do it. 18. That's a 25.
In your learned knowledge, you know of some people who are able to imbue tattoos with magic.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that this is necessarily magic just by like holding it or whatever, but you do know of these stories of people using magic to imbue certain abilities into people.
Okay. Good to know.
Great.
So
And I'll relay that information to them.
thank you.
Great.
Okay, so he was like a bestowed thing. So we just need to find whoever
We need somebody who knows what the hell's going on.
did it.
Somebody who can tell
Can I
us
notice anything
what.
else about the room? Any other things hidden since we've moved stuff around?
Other than the bodies hanging, and then also the different kinds of meat that are just also hanging. No. The thin layer of green fog kind of permeates the floor. But
I say, okay, well, why don't we take a short rest and then we'll go for round 2.
where would you guys like to rest?
I guess right there.
I want to go see if there's still people in the bar.
Okay.
We can go back in the bar.
Okay. You guys
Lock the door behind us
Yeah.
to the cellar.
Okay. You still have the key. You lock it. Okay. You guys lock up the cellar and then head back to the bar. There's still a few people in the corner. They look super like weirded out.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys come in, are you guys taking off your apparel
Yeah.
now? Down here? Or?
No, I'm not.
No? Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
you don't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You just going upstairs?
Yeah, just going upstairs and I say, oh no, I can't tell him to leave because the smoky stuff outside.
I mean, you can.
Can I look for
I
any
don't
other
want to.
cans written anywhere?
Thieves' cants? You don't see any
No,
other
okay.
ones.
Great, yeah. Yeah, we'll go upstairs and just make sure that somebody's
Pick one of the rooms.
Yeah,
and-
pick one of the rooms and make
Okay.
sure somebody's keeping an eye on the door in case anybody tries any funny business.
Okay.
And then can I try the cellar lock on the door just to see if it locks?
Different kind of key.
Okay.
You guys get into the room, close the door. Would you like to do anything
Before we go
to the door?
to the room, can I go behind the bar and see what's behind the bar?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
17?
You find 40 gold pieces.
Oh, nice. Gonna share. Or you gonna keep that?
And you find some.
I'm gonna keep it. Hold on. Keep talking.
You also find some just different things of meat.
Ew.
There's a drainage thing on the floor from all the blood that he's working with.
Ooh.
That would have existed. But the whole floor back there kind of has like a stick to it as it's just kind of coated in like drying blood. Yeah.
Okay, I hop out.
I grab some bottles of booze.
Okay. You grab a few and go.
Did you go behind the bar?
I see you go back there, and I just reach over and grab some booze.
I hop out from behind the bar, and I toss Frank 10 gold, and I toss Roarke 10 gold.
Heck yeah.
Solid.
Sweet.
I'll take that.
I'm gonna keep the 20 for myself. Wait.
You can keep 40 for yourself if you want. Yeah, 20.
Yeah. Great. So as we're going upstairs, Roarke is gonna try to throw his voice a little bit and say, "Drinks around the house," just to not sound as much like Roarke.
You don't hear anyone move. You guys get to the room. You guys doing anything to the room?
I'd like to put something in front of the door.
Okay,
Well, I don't
like
sleep.
There's like a small bookcase type thing.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
he doesn't sleep.
I'm not trying to sleep. I just need to chill out for a little bit and use the hit dice.
All right.
You're good. You move something small in front of
I
some
can too.
kind of in front of the door and set it up. And you guys take a little bit of time to regather yourself up.
Okay.
And that is where we will stop for tonight.
Great.
Oh,
All right.
Episode 2.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you really liked what you heard, go ahead and check out our website, questcompanypodcast.com. We have all of our links to our social media and everything up there. Also on the website, you can check out artwork done by Dakota Collins for our show. He's a local artist here in Nashville and a friend of the show, and is going to be doing a lot of the artwork for us going on in the future. If you like his work, check out his WordPress at dakcollins.wordpress.com. It's really cool stuff, loves D&D, and will possibly be a guest at some point on our show. You can also check out the music of Joe Cash, who plays Frank. He does all of our music for us on the show and also does all the editing because he's
badass.
All of his work will be on our SoundCloud under the Quest Company, so be sure to check out his stuff, get him a job. We'll be pulling up our episodes on YouTube, so please like and subscribe to that channel and you guys can get the earliest episodes as they come out. And join us soon for the next adventure on The Quest Company.